Well, hello, everybody. It's Brother Todd with your Victory Minute. I hope you guys and gals out there are all having a great day. I had one of those mornings this morning where I jumped up moving from one thing to the next. One ministry issue after another was coming up, and I was having to handle them. And, I've been doing this a good while now. And, it still sometimes surprises me how surprised I get by having to deal with things. Well, while I was thinking about that, I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I appreciate you letting me get to serve you during the heat of the day. Now, the parable I was referring to was where Jesus was talking about in Matthew chapter 20 about a man who went out and hired laborers for his vineyard. And he went out with some early in the day, and he made an arrangement with them for a day's wage, and they started early. And about 3 hours later, he went out and he saw men standing around the marketplace. Said, "What are y'all doing here?" They said, "Well, nobody's hired us." And he said, "Well, get out there in the field and I'll pay you what's right." And that, sorry about that. And that happened, 2, 3 more times. In fact, even up to the point where at the 11th hour, they worked about a 12-hour day. And so about 1 hour left of work, he sees the same thing, sends them out there. Well, everybody gets done. And he told his steward, he said, start paying them from the last to the first. So they started paying the group that had come at 11 and the group that come at 9 and 6 and 3 hours into it. And then, of course, the first group. Well, when he paid that first group, he paid them a full day's wage. They only worked an hour. Well, when them old boys showed up there that had been there all day, they thought they'd be getting a lot more. And he gave them a day's wage, a denarius, it said. And they was grumbling about it. And so the landowner said, what are y'all grumbling about? Didn't I make an arrangement with you? Didn't we have an agreement? And he basically told him, said, it's not wrong for me to do what I want to with my own. If I want to be generous towards people, I can do that. We had a good arrangement. And he was talking about how ultimately in the kingdom, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. And I'll let you go on and read it for yourself. But what I was thinking about, that it's a privilege to get to serve the Lord with your life. If you start young and you go a long time, then that's a privilege, and it's a blessing. The thief on the cross, he got to go to heaven, but he never got to serve Jesus while he was here. And it's a blessing to get to serve the Lord. Well, I had that going on in my mind, and I got to thinking about the last thing that landowner had told him. He said, he used a kind of a Hebrewism with him. He said, is your eye evil because I'm good? Are you looking with an evil eye at things? Now, particularly when you see that used in the Old Testament, things like that, it typically has the look of envy to it, okay? So, Brother Todd, why are you telling me all this? Well, I'm trying to talk fast as I can. I've been making these minutes too long, all right? But what I got to thinking about that I'd share with you in this minute is how do you look at things when somebody else gets blessed? You'll always find selfishness in yourself if you don't mind other people having something good happen to them as long as it happens to you too. But I want to talk to you about big girl Christianity, is to where when you can become selfless, because that's really what humility is. It's not thinking too much of yourself, obviously, and it's not thinking too little of yourself. It's just that you don't put yourself in the equation. And what I want to do, I want to challenge you for today, tomorrow, whenever it is you hear this, okay? I know some of you catch this stuff out there on the internet, me and you've never even met. Somehow it just popped up on your Facebook feed or something like that, and you just got to looking, well, who's this ugly guy and what's he talking about, okay? But I want to challenge you with looking for something good that's happened or happening with somebody and making certain that you're happy about it. Ask God today, Lord, let me see something good come into somebody's life and give me an attitude of being happy for their blessing. When you can get happy about somebody else, it moves you past self. And self, brother and sister, friend, hear me, is your biggest enemy. It's your biggest enemy. I was brought up in the church. They taught me all my life the devil's the biggest enemy I ever had. And I'm going to tell you something. Word don't say that. He's one of them. But the biggest enemy Todd's got is himself, his own flesh, okay? And I can come up with my own sin. I don't need the devil's help. I guarantee you. And one of the things you can do to help you really grow is ask God, God, bless somebody else. Pray for somebody else to get a blessing. Pray for somebody to get one, or pray for God to show you somebody getting something, and making certain you're happy about it. You know, if it's we serve the Lord with all of our days, and somebody's saved there at the end, they live like the world lives, and they get, you know what, amen. I'm glad God's merciful to them. I get the privilege of getting to serve the Lord as I move towards glory. You know, God takes care of me. You know, I don't miss meals. I got a decent truck to drive around in. I'm sitting here leaning on it, as a matter of fact. It's right there. And I can be happy when somebody else gets blessed. Don't be one of those people that looks with envy in your eye. Jesus said, that's an evil eye. All right? Think about it today with me. Let's have a good day. I pray God will bless you through the rest of this week. Bye-bye.